Yes, my name is Kaspars Lielgalvis, and I, I used to be an artist actually, and then I became a culture manager, and then I became cultural planner, and now I'm researcher. I don't know what will follow here, but I started my life, my identity trying to become an artist until I got around 30 in my life, and then I realized that actually I like more to organize artistic activities. So I will share a little bit my experience from past 15 years. Moving from artist to researcher, and yeah, I was invited to tell what artists can do for community building, and this is what I try to do for community building, and I just want to show that there are different ways what artist can do for a community. Of course, you know all that already, but just one of the versions. So in 2007, I started to develop a new art center in abandoned factory in Riga, and it was more like looking for my identity, what I really want to do instead of art. And I met some other artists who had also studios in this factory, and we started together to organize activities. In the beginning, we were really experimenting. We didn't have any plan, we didn't have any structure, we didn't have any aim and goal, and we did what we liked to do. And this was a period of economical crisis. Many artists lost their jobs, and we had loads of free time. So we started with small things which grew into more and more activities, into some support from different institutions, more and more people, people who came to asking if they can organize their events in our space. So it became naturally as a cultural venue, not only for our activities but for many different, and also the media was super diverse, starting from visual arts, ending with music, contemporary dance, and literature, poetry slams. Different things. And of course, these abandoned spaces became attractive also for companies who suddenly started to like these abandoned spaces. I don't know what happened, why before us nobody needed them, but when they saw that, I don't know, actually, I have never asked them why they wanted exactly our spaces, which we were using for our events. But it did happen that, and they offered to the owner higher rents, and we had to give up because we couldn't make our money. We could only survive by doing what we did. And so this first 5 years were very important for all the next steps that I have been doing until today, when I'm working now in Latvian University as a researcher. We try to understand how to unite people in these difficult times of the war, of the crazy American president, you know, which is challenging also as Baltic states, of course. If now we don't know if NATO is guarantee of our freedom or not anymore. So, how to protect our freedom, and what to use instead of military forces, because we are a very small country and we can't fight if Russia with 150 million people and army, which they can, you know, it can be really huge, and we can't protect our country. So what to do now? And okay, I will go on with my presentation. Yeah, sorry, sometimes it happens with me. Like this art center. It just happened. I don't know. I started, I didn't wanted art center. It just happened. And when we lost our space, I decided, okay, never again. I will never pay any private owner the rent. Because in Riga we have so many empty spaces which nobody is using. So now we have showed what we can do, and if somebody will want us, they can ask us and we will continue. But nobody did. Nobody did, and we started to think how we could make them ask us to use their empty buildings. And we created, together with another active people from the cultural field, we created a movement called Free Riga. This was 2014, a time of occupation movements, Occupy Wall Street, occupations in Italy, in Spain, everywhere, and we were also thinking, but why nothing is happening in Riga? No squatting, we have so many abandoned buildings. So we started to work with empty abandoned buildings. We made a map of abandoned buildings. We found out that we have hundreds of empty buildings in the city. We found out that also the city is aware of this problem, but nobody is really talking about this. But so we started to organize different kind of activities, discussions, meetings, conferences about how to open doors of abandoned buildings, and we also opened doors of some abandoned buildings in 2014. This was a former press house, huge space with unrealistic plan to make it as a cultural center. It was 22,000 square meters, which was impossible to turn into. But it was again one of the steps forward. It's always, you know it very well. When you open the door and step in the unknown space, you always find something super valuable. And then Liepāja, another city in Latvia, the municipality, they suddenly invited us to use one of their empty properties and turn into short-term art center for 3 months. And we did it, and it was very interesting. Summer, beautiful summer, lots of events. Again, local students were the most often visitors of our activities. So we saw that it's needed, and then we went to municipality, showing all our photos and telling how many people were attending, and they said, "Oh, unfortunately, we are scared of our bosses from the ministries, the state control institution, which controls any state institutions, and there is no law in Latvia, like squatting law, or there is a law which tells you that you can't give state property to somebody for free. So it's opposite. The process is completely opposite. Yeah. So they said, "Oh, there is this empty water tower which belongs to another state institution. Go and ask them." And we went and we asked, and next summer we were opening this beautiful water tower. And then old cinema, and then old still running factory in Estonia. I won't go into the details how it all went farther and farther, and it was like this snowball which rolls down the mountain. And yeah, and then suddenly our seeds of the temporary use organization called Free Riga also started to grow, this organization, and in 2017 they got private property which is former emergency medical car base in Riga, and we got all the empty buildings in this base for free for 3 years, and we created another cultural courtyard in Riga, which was quite full with artistic activities. It was how it looked before and how after us. And actually, when we started, it's not in the really. Who has been there? Local people, of course. I think maybe you went also. Now it's not like this anymore. Sadly. Yeah. Yeah. Right. It's just here. So, if you know the geography of Riga, you understand that this is not the city center. So when we started, we thought, oh, who will come? It's so far. But we got it for free, so let's do something. So we did something. Some first summer was like random things. We were kind of trying to activate. There was people who started to organize something, and then they started to complain. Yeah, but why the promotion is bad? Nobody's coming, and then next summer there some bars came, and they brought people actually. Alcohol bring people. Unfortunately, yeah, that's true. That's unfortunately that's their reality, and that's the reality we have to aware, and we have to use it as a tool. Alcohol, like unfortunately, that's what happened. With beer, we brought people, we brought youngsters, we brought students, and then we you know, we kick them with art. You know, we give them a kick. You know, and we try to. Many of these youngsters, they come just to hang out, to have a beer, to meet friends. But then they see, yeah, there is happening some poetry or concert or exhibition, like something very crazy for kids. We organized some circus events, and in the night it was like we had the tradition. At the midnight there was always a fire show, and people started to come to these things, to these things, and they discovered that actually art can be very different and can be very interesting and also entertaining, and that nothing is bad with that. That's what you saw also here before in Kuldīga, that art can be very attractive. So what we try to do in this courtyard, we tried to face reality, that the people, they can't really open themselves and get free and easily communicate without beer. That's true. And nowadays also without, very often without marijuana, you know, and all these things, they are everywhere. They are everywhere, and especially after COVID, it's very easy to find them, and you can feel in the air. They use it, and the courtyard was not exception. You can't, you know, you can't control. You can't have police all the time. Then nobody will come. Nobody will come. So what you can do with art, you can, it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's, you can make them think and discover the art. Just, yeah, bring art in these places. And then this was the next project already, the former university, which was already more kind of complex idea. This is a project of co-living and co-working. It's 15,000 square meters, around 200 rooms. It's really big, with also a space for events. And we got it for 25 years. And our idea was that this will become like a space for, as a laboratory for ideas which improve life quality in general. So all kind of crazy ideas which would grow from this community of creative people. It's not easy. It's easy to say, it's easy to name the space, but it's not so easy to make it happen. What else artists can do? Artists can do many things. We were producing Riga cultural maps. We were distributing them to the hotels for tourists to discover like really local cultural places. We created a cultural calendar where everybody can see what's happening in the city. We were inviting like-minded placemakers from outside Latvia, and we created together with them a network, and we started to run different educational projects. And so artists can do really many things which improves the quality of life in neighborhoods, in the city, in the communities. I don't know how much time I still have. 5 minutes.
5 minutes plus questions.
Yes, 5 minutes. So this is one of the projects we did together with, as a temporary use organization, together with municipality for 2.5 years. We tried to understand what artists can do in the neighborhood, which is kind of one of the difficult neighborhoods where lots of industry is placed, and the working people are living there, and there is not so much cultural activities. So we had a residency where we invited one of our partners from the network from Denmark, and they came to discover and understand. And they were just discovering. They were going around the neighborhood, talking. Okay, this is one of the ideas they come up with, but they were talking with people, marking all the interesting locations, and we did discussions with local people, trying to understand, to map the neighborhood according to the geographical geography, the places which they find interesting, where are free spots which is already been used, which can be used, what they like, what they don't like about the neighborhood. And we created a newspaper together with them and distributed into the neighborhood, including a questionnaire where we asked them what they would like to have, what kind of activities, cultural activities they would like to have in the neighborhood. And then we picked 3 of the activities, and we supported the beginning of these activities and observed how this, is it developing, is it interesting, is it attracting local people, is it, what will happen. So we saw that they became live, and they were done, but it happened only if somebody is initiating this and trying to support this, and then they start to live their own life. But there is a big potential in the neighborhoods, but you have to ask them, you have to invite them, you have to support them in different ways. So now we are working with 3 different neighborhoods in Latvia and trying to activate the cultural life for 2 years now. We are in the middle of the project, and we have to come up with some recommendations for the government, what kind of programs they should include in the next 5 years, which would support this growth of activities in the neighborhoods which have a poor cultural life, basically 99% of Latvia. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Kaspars. And also I want to emphasize that in this conference you were representing the Institute of Philosophy and Sociology, who are working on the project about the social cohesion, and you are one of the researchers, practice-based researchers, right, in this project, and hopefully they benefit learning. Still, you sound quite pessimistic when you speak about. Maybe people have some questions to Kaspars, the artist who has worked extensively. Yeah.
I have a quite practical question. It seems that you operate in multiple temporary cultural centers, which requires heavy financial resources, I guess. And you were always talking about that you got them for free and stuff, but from where did you get the money for the rest of the stuff?
It's a good question. You know, when I started the first art center, I told myself, oh, if the society will like what I do, they will find the ways how to support me, how to finance me. And this is what I always keep in mind. There are many different sources. Sometimes we got the funding from the state, from the Culture Capital Foundation, sometimes from the city, sometimes from British Council, sometimes from bar income, sometimes from ticket sales. It's very different ways how we finance. And it's always big challenge.
And hi, Sandra from the New Theatre Institute. If I can make a comment, I actually do not know why Kaspars is still doing this, but he's like locally, he's one of those who doesn't quit. I mean, it seems he doesn't quit. As he said, he's made many of these empty places to something, and he still continues on doing it. And there are not that many people that continue to struggle with all of this, all the things that you need to struggle with in order to actually make it happen. So he's a legendary new place.
I can't stop. Yeah. I would stop if I would feel that nobody needs it, and if I want, and people invite me, and you know that drug, I kind of have created this kind of aura of placemaker, the one-off. So people, when they look for somebody, they find me, because you know, it's not so, as you said, there are not so many people, but it could be. But it could be more, and recently I have been invited by Riga's Latvian Biedrība, which has amazing, beautiful building.
Where nothing happens?
And they found me because they were looking for someone who has created Tallinn Street Quarter. And they thought, okay, this guy will solve our problem. And then I had a meeting, and then I told them, yes, but you know, I can do this, but you will have to listen to me next 3 years. And they said, no, sorry, we didn't thought like this, so you know.
But you're
like
perfectly answering the question all the time, what an artist can do for this topic, because just continue to believe, dream, have a vision, and make.
Yeah, I think only artists can do this.
Yeah, like no other magicians. Can you pass the mic to?
Hi, thank you so much. This is incredibly impressive. My name is Gosia. I come from Poland, from Art Transparent. I wanted to ask you about your programming strategies. It's like for 20 years to program such different spaces, and you said you bring in a lot of different things, but could you speak a bit more to that?
Yeah, I try always. I try to observe what's around me, what kind of people, what kind of institutions, what kind of possibilities, what kind of partners, stakeholders, all these they are playing a huge role. It's not only me, of course. I can't create all this on my own. There are has been engaged many people, also artists and participants. And as I said, still I'm. You know, when you apply for funding, you have to write down the project, you have to make an estimate, you have to put the aims, tasks, everything, and then you submit, and then you wait 1 month, and then you have to realize the project which has been created a few months ago, and the situation is different already. This project, which was planned a few months ago, is not working anymore. Look how fast the world is changing. 2 days, 3 days ago, we didn't knew that USA is now together with Russia. It changed completely the whole situation, and the project which you were planning a year ago, it's just. You can throw it in the rubbish box. If you will try to make it happen, who will benefit from that? So, what I think we have to do in order to survive. We have to a little bit make more loose all the restrictions and structures. It should be more loose. It should be more free, because we are smart people. We don't have to always follow some, this frames who we created them not knowing our future where we are living now. So
That was also the point previously in the panel, that the trust and intuition cannot be described in the open call or in the criteria, but basically in art it's always very present in any level. Is it developing new neighborhoods, or is it developing one project? But like, there's always this unknown that you can never put in an application that will work exactly the same way.
Yeah, I think we have created the system where money is playing too big role. Money is just a money. It's just Yes, the most important are us, our people, you, me. This is not the money. Money is.
Well, at least in some community, maybe there are communities where they still think that money is.
But if you look at the laws and how the money is distributed, it seems that the money is the most important thing, and all we create the rules how to deal with money.
Yeah, one more question.
Hello, I'm Latti from the Budapest team. I'm the executive director of the Batman Square Theatre. I just have a really practical question, that you have so many real estates that you are operating, and how you can afford it, how you get funded, or how you do on daily basis. I'm just looking for some solutions to how to pay the electricity bills, for example. So.
Yes, I showed all these places, but they are not. They has not been active in the same time. Not all of them, It was
one bill
and
at
then
a time.
another, and then another, one at a time. So it's a little bit more easy, yeah. But the electricity bills and all this is it's a big issue. You are absolutely right, and we also have been always looking for solutions, and but somehow.
But you're also used to freeze, because I think you are one of the artists who walk in a cold studio.
Yeah, we try to survive.
Yeah, well, resistance.
Project writing is we start to make more money with alcohol sales. which is more stable.
But
than
don't promote that too much, probably.
We trust. This is more trustful than the government.
Let's discuss it over some beer. But maybe we have to move to our next speaker. Simply, yeah, you can do an applause for.